Well, you gotta hand it to Instagram. As much as they make you want to bang your head up against the wall because you're trying to figure out all these new features that seem to come out every week and you're trying to figure out all the algorithm tweaks, they do like to give us mega hints on what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Last month, they told a bunch of influencers how many times a week you should be posting a reel. And we know, and we have known ever since Reels came out, that they are rewarding people who are using Reels. As long as you're consistent with them, it is the #1 way to grow your account. What we didn't know was exactly how many reels they wanted us to crank out in a week. According to these influencers who talk to the bigwigs, they want us to crank out 4 to 7 reels every week and still be consistent with all the other features, stories, IGTV, and feed posts. I know it's a lot. It's why I have been giving you a lot of tips on how to stay consistent with your reels and how to use the right content so that you're attracting the right people and growing your account with ideal followers so that you can grow your business with reels. If you need help on how to be consistent, check out this video and check out this video. They also, as in this month, just came out with the big mistakes you want to avoid if you want your reels shown to people who are not already following you. And we know that we've got to get our content shown to people who are not following us if we want to grow our following so we can grow our business. So I'm going to go over all the mistakes Instagram is saying don't do so that you can get your reels shown to more people. And I know that they also encourage us to use the trending sounds and use the music on Instagram if you have music on Instagram. But you don't want that to be the majority of your content. The trendy stuff is good as long as you're making sure it is related to your niche. You want to make sure you're taking a trend and you are using it to help your ideal person in your niche. That's a good way to use a trend. But you also want to make sure you're not just doing trends because your brand is your face and it is your voice and it is your unique personality. And I'm going to talk about that too. We're going to go over the mistakes that Instagram just came out and said, stop doing this. And then I'm also going to show you ways that you can stand out with your reels. So let's move over there and talk about all these mistakes we should not be making. Okay. My point of this video, the whole goal is by the time you finish this, you won't make the dumb mistakes that Instagram is screaming out saying, yeah, we won't show your video to people if you do this, but also you'll know how to lean in to who you are. The only way to stand out right now, especially with video, is to go all in on who you are. And I'm going to show you how I screwed that up and made a huge mistake and what I learned from that and how that lesson changed my entire career, my entire business. But first, let's get down to the mistakes Instagram is saying, stop doing this because we're not going to show your video to anybody but your followers. And mistake #1 is posting reels with blurry video due to low resolution. This is an easy fix, but some people don't even think to do the easiest thing to prevent that from happening. And you know what that is? It's simply cleaning your camera lens. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but so often we get on video with a smudgy camera lens and that can cause blurry video. So take your shirt, not your finger, some kind of cloth, and make sure that you're wiping off the lens of the camera that you're going to be using. If you're using the front camera, make sure that one's clean. Back camera, make sure that one's clean. The other thing is you need light. If you don't have good lighting, then you're not going to have clear video. It's going to look crappy, and that's the kind of video they're talking about. So even if you don't have a ring light, make sure you're standing in front of a window with light on you, not behind you, but in front of you. That's also going to eliminate blurry video. Make sure you are standing in front of light so that you're well lit, or whatever you are shooting with your camera is well lit. #2, Instagram says we're not going to show videos with borders on them to people other than your followers. Now, that can be obvious, like this clearly has a border around it, but something that's really popular right now that you might not be thinking of is that iPhone mock-up. Like this. People are using these in their videos. I don't know if Instagram considers that to be a frame, although it is framing your video. So if you like to use that iPhone mock-up look, I would test your videos to make sure you're getting your reel out to other people? Or when you're on the Reels page, are you seeing videos of people using the iPhone mock-up? If you are and you're not following them already, then that is a good sign that you can get away with that. Otherwise, I would just make sure that is not holding you back from getting your Reels seen by people other than your followers. Number 3 is using too much text, and we've talked about this. If you put too much text on a screen, it is overwhelming to the person who's watching your video. They feel like they have to stop the video right then to read all of your stuff. And the kicker is, most people won't do that. They will get frustrated and move on. And now Instagram is saying, if you have too much text on your reel, we're not showing it to people other than your followers. So my rule of thumb is every text bubble I have has no more than 8 words on it, and it's centered right about here, because that makes it easy for the person watching me to take in my expressions and what I'm saying, but also follow along below in case they need that support, that reinforcement, or in case they're not listening to the video with the volume turned up. But if you get crazy with way too many text bubbles everywhere, it's just busy. It looks junky, it looks cluttered, and Instagram is saying we're not showing it. And then the big one is not to take videos that you obviously created in another app and post them on Reels. Meaning, if it's got a watermark, if it's got a logo, they're not going to show it to people. A lot of people are showing their videos that they created in TikTok and posted on TikTok, and then they're just repurposing it for Reels. And that's what Instagram is saying. We're not showing your stuff if it's really obvious that you created that on another app. Now, does this mean that if you were to edit a video inside a video editing app like InShot and you don't have the paid version and you've got the watermark, are they going to show it? I don't know. You would want to also test that. There are ways to remove watermarks off of your TikTok video, or you can simply put it into an editing app and you can crop it so that that watermark is eliminated. But here's the best way to do it, and the smartest way, not just because you're trying to get your stuff shown on Reels, but because this is the easiest way to repurpose videos. You need to be editing in a video app, not just in TikTok or just in Reels. Now, let me show you an example of this, because Instagram is not the only company that does this. I recently got lazy, and instead of taking my video, my naked video with no text that I edited inside a video editing app, and then uploading it to TikTok and then applying the text on there, that's what I normally do. I edit a video and then I apply the text in the individual app so that I'm using the app's features. The algorithm likes that, and it looks like it belongs on that app. We all get a little distracted when we see something that's obviously been repurposed when we're watching it on a specific app, which is what Instagram is saying. They said they surveyed people, and people said these are the things that make watching Reels less enjoyable. And one of them was seeing a TikTok watermark, or a watermark in general. So what I normally do is I edit in an outside app, and then I upload individually. I apply the text in the individual app so it looks like it belongs there. But recently, I want to show you that Instagram is not the first to do this. I uploaded a reel to TikTok without doing what I just said I usually do. I got lazy. So I just saved my reel right from Instagram and posted it straight to TikTok. Look at the numbers of the views on this particular video on TikTok compared to all the other ones. Very, very low. In fact, I don't even think they sent this to my followers. I think the only way I got these views were people who were already on my account and clicked on this video. And as you can see, Instagram has recently started adding an Instagram watermark to the videos that you save from Reels. So now TikTok is super aware that that's what you're doing. But here's the other thing. The AI on these apps are so good. They don't really need a watermark to know that that video was shot on somebody's features on their competition. Even without the watermark, sometimes you may find that these apps will bury your videos or not pump them out to more people. There are exceptions, but these are the things you got to think of, which is why in my course, this is Video School, I go through all the ways to repurpose so that you're not having to use the features of these individual apps to shoot and edit your videos, but so that you can repurpose them so that you get the most bang for your buck when you do post your video and they're not getting buried because the app knows that you went to somebody else's app and edited your stuff, and now you're going to reuse it, and you're going to basically advertise this other competitor by sticking their watermark on their feed. That's what this is all about. Let's talk about other mistakes you want to avoid if you don't want to wreck your reels. Don't use copyright music unless you've got music on Instagram and you're using the music from right there. I know you can go and you can screen record someone else's video or a song somewhere and edit it onto your video in an outside app and then upload it. I know all these things because I've done them, but they will get you in trouble. Just like on TikTok, people got away with that for a while, and then all of a sudden they started getting their videos muted or deleted, or worst case scenario, they had their accounts shut down. It happened on YouTube. Eventually, it was harder and harder to use music that you did not have the rights to, and now you can get your account shut down. Then it was TikTok. It's going to be that way on Instagram. You don't want to be that person who loses their account because you borrowed a song that wasn't yours. Unless you have Instagram music and you can take a song from there, or you're using free music from an app, or you've got the rights because you have subscribed to a company that provides you with music, don't do it. It's not worth it. This is the most important mistake you want to avoid out of all of them. Speaking of copying people, you don't want to copy people's content. And I'm not talking about a trending song or a trending sound or a trending meme. I get that. I'm talking about taking someone's content and changing up a few words and passing it off as your own because you're insecure, because you've run out of ideas, because you're comparing yourself so much that you're worried your video isn't good enough. And this doesn't just apply to Reels. I'm telling you this because I did this. It only took me one time, and that time I got caught, and it was so embarrassing. It was a year ago on TikTok with this video right here that has been taken down. And the original creator found out about it. She commented on the video, but that wasn't enough because I was getting views. I was getting new followers on TikTok. So my vanity and my ego overruled everything. But when the original creator posted a TikTok about me copying her content, I was mortified. And I took it down, and I vowed never to do that again. I considered deleting both of my TikTok accounts because I was that embarrassed. But instead, I decided to use this as a lesson to only get better. So do I look at other people's content? I do. I don't look at other people's content in my niche. I look at other people in other industries to get ideas and see how I can apply what they're doing that I like to what I do. If you are taking someone's phrases, if you're taking the way that they explain something in a creative way and maybe just changing out a couple words, that is copying and it is illegal. Aside from all of that and the fact that it can be embarrassing when you get called out for it, it is hurting your growth with your creativity and with your business. When I stopped looking at other people's and what they were doing in my industry, I went all in on how I could uniquely tell a story and explain concepts. If you really are an expert in what you do and what you claim to do, you know your stuff. You don't need to go copy other people. If you know your stuff, you've got to dive down deep into how you can get creative with the way that you share your experiences, the way that you share why you know what you know, the way that you apply what you know, your strategies, all of that stuff makes you unique. But if you're so busy consuming and comparing and copying, you're never going to be able to find that part of you. Once I stopped doing that, I launched a course. I had a 6-figure launch with that course, and my business has only continued to grow. My videos have only continued to get better. And I'm so thankful that that person humiliated me and called me out. So thankful. It could have been so much worse. I could have gone on to continue copying and really gotten myself into trouble, but also really stunted and prevented my growth. Don't do it. It's a horrible mistake, not just for Reels or TikTok, but just for your career and your content in general. If you have the original person's content sitting out in front of you while you're creating yours, you're copying. If you're just changing a few words, you're copying. If you're not thinking about how you uniquely do that thing that you're teaching on and you're borrowing someone else's ideas, chances are you're copying. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you found this video to be helpful, give it a like and comment below and tell me what other questions you have about video and about Reels. That way I can create more content to help you master video. And if you need ideas so that you can kill it with Reels, make sure you check out this video. It's 10 ideas for business Reels.